Hi, I'm Scott,
And I'm Andrew, and thank you for joining us for Hebrews Podcast
where we talk about our personal experiences being dads and the day-to-day life of raising kids.
and coffee.
Lots of
Lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee. Well, good morning and welcome back
morning.
to Hebrews Podcast.
Welcome,
course,
welcome, welcome.
The podcast where we record once every 4 weeks.
It's been a doozy.
It's been a while. You know, we've been busy. We do things. You know, we love to get together and record, but let's see. For me, Nina was here in North Carolina for a week
Mm-hmm.
or a little less. But that was a really cool event, and I'll have to talk about it in a little bit. But that's why I had been busy. And of course, you had things going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you probably can't even see me because I'm wearing camo.
What?
What? Yeah, deer season is in full swing.
Deer
So that
season.
usually occupies a good chunk of my time, and gun openers this weekend, and then obviously the normal day-to-day life of ministry and
Mm-hmm.
being a dad and a husband, and it gets crazy.
It does. It really does.
And then
And
we
it
don't
feels.
usually. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say sometimes it feels like, hey, it's not so busy looking up ahead of the
Right.
week, and then out
And
of
then-
like left field something happens. You're like, oh, I guess this is busy.
Yep. And then we're like, we don't really want to be drinking coffee at like 9:00 at night.
I'll drink coffee anytime. Caffeine is good.
That is true.
So,
Caffeine is delicious.
yeah. Do you want to go over some of the big highlights of what has happened in our past?
Sure.
What is it?
My
It's
coffee
like
is just a
two
plain.
2 or 3
Yeah,
weeks.
it's been a couple weeks. My coffee tonight or today, whenever you're listening to this, it's tonight for us because we're recording. Spoiler
Tonight.
alert.
It's dark. You can see a windows.
It's dark. It's just a basic, or not basic. It's one of the. I've actually really liked the world's strongest coffee stuff. I think that's what it
Okay.
is. I can't
I'm not
remember.
usually a big fan of those. I feel like they just they're not bad, but I like
It's
going for
definitely-
more of like a flavor kind of.
Yeah, it's definitely
that-
like it gives that a lot of coffee punch.
Mhm.
And there's like notes of cherry and chocolate, I think, in this one.
Ooh.
But really what's giving it flavor is my around the Christmas and Thanksgiving time. I love the cinnamon creamer. I don't know what it is about it, but just so good. So that's what I'm drinking tonight.
That's great. I before I go, I just had a regular old latte here. It's nothing special. I thought you were
Yeah.
gonna spill there.
I almost did. I almost
know.
did.
Yeah. So I got this. I did buy some creamers from the store, some novelty Christmas season flavored creamers.
You have to. You have to.
Yeah, you have to for sure. One's
You
like
have to.
gingerbread or something, which I haven't tried yet. I did try an almond milk eggnog in my coffee because I was like, I've never had a non-traditional eggnog, but since my lactose intolerance has not been so fun, I was like, yeah, I'll go with the almond milk one. And I put it in my coffee and it curdled like instantly. And I was like,
You have to.
I drank a
it's
couple
gotta
sips of it.
Cold.
Yeah. So I'll do that in like an iced coffee and see if that gets better.
I've done it when it's like my coffee, it's not piping hot, but it's in between that like lukewarmish and hot.
Mhm.
And I've put eggnog in that way, and oh my goodness, I think we actually did that last year.
We did, yeah. I'm going to tell you what the giant number one mistake I made that I just realized right now. I steamed the eggnog.
That'll do it.
That was the issue.
That'll curdle it right up. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about Christmas time. It is my favorite season. We've talked about this in a recent podcast.
We did. I think it was like 3
what was
or
your
4
favorite
ago.
seasons? Yeah, exactly. Christmas was my favorite season.
Yeah.
I took a cheater's route.
It's not really cheaters.
It was kind of a cheater. We were talking about like fall, spring, and summer, and I said Christmas.
Well, it's basically like everybody associates Christmas with winter. So
I think Christmas is a fall and winter kind of thing.
That's
So
because he listened to Christmas music like September.
I would love to be doing that, but did you just take a drink of that?
Don't do that. Don't mind me just dying over here.
um,
Oh, I knew that was gonna come out at some point.
so my kids have not let me listen to Christmas music in the car because they just want to listen to Taylor Swift, and I can't say no. So
Just shake it off.
shake
Shake
it
it
off.
off.
They've been listening to Cruel Summer.
I don't even know any of the new stuff,
It's not
but
even that new. It's on her
it's not.
album Lover, which
I,
wasn't. I don't know. I know the really old stuff like Shake It
yeah,
Off and like
right.
Love Story,
Yeah,
but
yeah. So
they're all about Taylor Swift. It's funny.
Swifties.
I told I told Olivia in the car ride, I was like, just for some random reason that we were listening to Taylor Swift, so I brought it up and I was like, yeah, her boyfriend plays for the NFL. He plays football. She
Mm.
got so excited, like out of her mind excited about Taylor Swift's
Just
boyfriend plays football. I was like, okay. I'm glad you're excited. Do you want to know all the news?
right. Oh, that's
So
funny. So yeah, our weeks have been crazy busy,
yeah.
as we've alluded to. I know for
Mhm.
me, like I said, been hunting as much as I can. Not every night, but 2 or 3 times a week. Was out with my bow. Maybe not even no, not 2 or 3 times a week. Because I think in total for the season I went seven times or so.
Okay.
Um, and then I ended up actually getting to harvest my very first buck, which was super cool.
Yeah.
Um, crazy, like, oh my goodness. I ended up missing one. I don't think
Yep.
I don't think did I talk about that on the podcast? I can't remember now.
I can't remember
So
if it was the podcast. I thought it was. That's why I said yeah. But
so I missed one, which sucked. And he was the one that I'd seen on camera,
the one that got
um,
away.
the one that got away. But then I decided to switch where I was sitting, because the
Mhm.
property that I get to hunt, Pastor Mark has 2 stands up, and so I switched to the other stand because I was like, you know what,
Uh,
why not try it?
good
And
choice, huh?
yeah, this guy came in at last light. Haven't seen him on camera or anything. Um, and he came in, shot at him. I hit him. I thought I hit him good, um, and but it turns out I didn't hit him as good as I had hoped. Um, it wasn't like bad to the point of like needing a second shot, thankfully.
Did you
Plus,
get
it
to
was
go up there
dark.
and finish him off with the?
No,
He was
because
dead when you got to him.
so we so it was Monday night, and I took
Okay.
my shot at like last legal light. Like I could see my pins, I could see him.
Mhm.
He came
Now, for those of us who don't
bare.
know hunting, what is last legal light? What time is that?
So it depends on when sun sets. So sunsets
Mm.
say 4:30. That means last legal light is I think 20 minutes um
Okay.
after that, if I'm remembering correctly. It's either 20 minutes or a half an hour, one of the two.
Mhm.
Um and so he came running in, following this doe because it's breeding season, and so the does give off this smell that makes the bucks go crazy, and that's
They go buck
when
wild, huh?
they go buck wild. So he's following her in, and this doe had come through like 10 yards away from me, um, like I don't know, quarter after 4. And then he came in literally at the like last minute. I didn't even have my release for my bow on my string, so I'm like fumbling around trying to get my release on, and I pull back at him, and I didn't like, usually with a bow, you try to make some kind of noise, whether you whistle or you just go meh or something, not the glug
Mhm.
glug, but I was anticipating. And so I didn't do that. And that ended up being why I hit him further back than I wanted to. But he was only
Okay.
10 yards away, and so I could see my knock because it got stuck in his leg. My arrow did, on his opposite leg.
Okay.
So we followed let him run away, or not really run. He hobbled away, and then I waited about a half hour, backed out, waited another half hour for Pastor Mark and the guy's property that I was hunting on. We got our lights and everything. went and tried to
Mhm.
find him, and he was still alive. And we had seen that the arrow was a little bit further back, and so we marked on this app that I have. We marked about where he was at and just kind of backed out, and that's that was literally one of the worst feelings I've had. Just like, oh, I didn't hit him where I wanted to. I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
do a follow-up shot, which means this deer is gonna suffer all night long. And it was, yeah, it was not a fun spot to be in that Monday night.
Mhm.
I try to take some melatonin to go to sleep because everybody, it's a not really a joke, but it's common knowledge that like if you hit a buck, especially a fairly large buck, or I mean any deer really,
Yeah.
you and if you don't hit them good and you have to track them and you have to wait because you got to wait for them to either expire or you can't obviously shoot when it's
Right.
dark. But I didn't sleep hardly at all. And the moments that I did, I was having super, super trippy dreams, like deer talking to me, and it was it was
Well,
super
that
odd.
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Did you ever see,
So
oh, sorry, keep going. I was gonna say,
no.
I can't remember if it's the Chris Farley movie where they hit a deer in the
Oh
roadway
yes. Oh
and they
my
put the deer
goodness.
in the back
They
of the
put it.
car. I can't remember if it's Tommy Boy or if it's
No.
Black Sheep. I usually get those 2 stuck in my
Oh
I think it's Tommy Boy, though,
yeah. It is. Yeah,
because
it is
the
Tommy
running
Boy. It
joke
is
is that
Tommy
he
Boy.
destroys that car all the way through
Yes.
the
Yeah.
movie.
Because
Yeah.
David
David Spacey,
Spade's
yeah,
in
yeah.
the car with him.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
and the deer pops his head up in the middle of them driving down the highway. Yeah, sorry.
No,
So you
but
had a rough night of sleep.
oh yeah, rough little to no sleep, and then woke up early, went out there with my bow.
Mhm.
We ended up we didn't have any blood trail or anything because I was so high up and the arrow didn't go through him. There wasn't
Uh-huh.
anything coming out. So we had to grid search, which is basically like you're 50 yards of 30, 50 yards away from each other, and you're just walking back and forth, just
Oh,
trying to
okay.
find him. And Pastor Mark ended up finding him in the super, super thick brush right by this creek.
Mhm.
And he was already done, and he'd been done dead for a while.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, which made me feel a lot better,
Mhm.
because that's the last thing I think I talked about this on the podcast. Is it's the last thing that I want as a hunter is to have, especially have an animal that I'm trying to harvest to eat. Like we just ate
Sure.
him tonight. Actually,
Ooh,
we had tacos.
congratulations. That
Um,
is some I've had, venison tacos before and
oh,
venison
it's
chili.
delicious.
Those
Oh
are
yeah,
2 great combos
yeah,
of ways to eat venison, but
yeah. So, and then when we were gutting him, found out that I hit him in the liver, which is good, because it's not ideal. But if you're gonna miss and if you're gonna hit back, that's where you want to hit because that it takes a little bit longer than like lungs and heart, obviously. But
hmm,
like he was bedded down and like he probably fell asleep and then passed or whatever. And
it'd be nice to think of that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it was a dandy of
I bet you he was
of
having dreams about talking to
oh,
you.
he was, yeah, he was, yeah. So, so yeah, that was pretty cool. And then
That's exciting.
got him back, and he's ready for eating.
Yum.
Got his. I did my own Euro mount, which is basically you keep the skull and the antlers intact,
Ooh,
instead of doing like a full
kinda like
shoulder
the
mount
old
or
west
anything.
sorta thing.
Hmm. Yeah, and so that
Mount
was
that thing on
cool.
the front of your car.
I I think I'm gonna put it in my office at the church. Actually, I've
Ooh.
got a pretty cool idea of I'm gonna put it on some driftwood or something like that and hang that
Mm,
on the wall. And yeah,
nice.
so yeah, that was a nice way to wrap up kind of the bow season and get ready for the gun season.
So now can you get
But
another deer with your gun, or
mhm,
is it like a 1 deer?
yeah, no,
Okay.
in some states it is a one deer thing.
Mhm.
But in Wisconsin, you get a bow tag, and then you can pay for an extra gun tag,
Okay.
which you
Now
can
there's
also
muzzleloader, and
use.
then there's
Yeah,
also
yep,
okay.
and you can use that one for muzzleloader or normal gun.
Okay.
And so I'm planning on doing some muzzleload hunting, actually going down to the southwestern side of the state, with Pastor Dan, actually,
Oh,
and
cool.
some other people to do some muzzleload hunting down there. So I'm gonna go out on Saturday because Saturday is opening day.
Mm,
Um,
that should be
but
fun.
yeah, I'm not like gonna be sitting there like, oh, like I gotta shoot something, like I want to shoot something. I'm just, if I
Mhm.
see something that I like,
Take a
then
shot.
I'll yeah, take a
Don't hit
shot.
him in the
But
liver.
yeah, no liver
It's
shot. So yeah, it'll be
yeah.
it's crazy time around here, and had youth convention actually one weekend, and yeah, so it's been good. It's been
Yeah.
good.
So over here, of course, down in North Carolina where I live, it's been pretty
Down in the south.
down south. It's been great, and things are winding down. Of course, Nina has lived in Wisconsin with my mother, which was a great blessing for us. With Eliza staying there with my mom. You're just terrified that I'm gonna hit that button
Yep.
again now every
I
time you
tried
drink.
to I tried to bait it.
um, but it's been a real blessing that my mom's got to spend time with Nina and with Eliza this whole time. I just noticed
Mhm.
that my face isn't centered, but I don't know if I should care. Um, so over the past 2 weeks or so, since we've been recording, Nina came and visited. But the reason she came was she flew down because Emily got to play in a Carolina Hurricanes intermission.
Which is so
So they
cool.
had like the mites out there playing on the ice. And she
Mhm.
was looking forward to it so much. She loved being at the hockey game. Olivia had a great time sitting and watching the game. And I guess we didn't prepare Emily enough for what this was actually going to be because it was a 2-minute skate of them just like
Oh.
going to town on into the ice. So she got off and she's like, "That wasn't a hockey game." And we're like, "Yeah, well, it wasn't a hockey game. You're right." But like she's really starting to get into hockey, and it's really cool. And she's getting a lot better and like caring about playing.
Mhm.
So and
And
meanwhile, we were at the Carolina Hurricanes game, and
uh-huh.
they went to overtime and
I was
won, and
just
that
about
was
to say.
exciting. It was a
Yeah,
great
and
game to be at.
I watched that save again because I didn't watch the
Oh
game. I
yeah,
just remember
Freddie
that
Anderson
was
save.
insane.
Nope, not Anderson. It was
um,
Ranta,
Ranta, yeah,
Anti Ranta. Yeah, he came out
insane.
way out of his crease. Decided to dive after the puck. It was
And then
crazy.
dove again,
Yeah,
and
that
my
was a
goodness.
fun time. I had a great dad moment, by the way, at the hockey game. So the way it worked is one parent was allowed to go with Emily down to like the ice level where you had to get her ready, and then the parent had to leave actually, and the hockey coach would just take it from there for all the kids.
Hmm.
So Nina went down and do that because Emily asked if she could. I was like, sure, I'm here the whole time doing whole
Hmm.
hockey with you every weekend. But as soon as mom gets here, you want her to do it with you. That's okay. I get it. So Nina went down with her to do that, and I got to hold Eliza. And as I was holding her, there was a goal. The Hurricanes scored a goal, and it was probably like 9:30, and she was half asleep in my arms.
Oh.
And I stood up and jumped, and as soon as I realized that she was like half asleep in my arms, she started screaming, and I was like, "Oh
Oh.
no!" But I didn't feel so bad because she was also half asleep in Nina's arms
When
when Ranta made that
Ranta made.
save, and she did like the same thing. So I was like, "What?" She's okay. But Eliza seemed to have a great time. It was so funny. In the beginning of the game, when people were like cheering and clapping, she would look around and she'd be like, "Oh, it's time to clap!" And
Oh.
she'd start clapping. And it was so funny.
It's so
Um,
funny how much they pick up on, like
mhm.
even at that age. Like it's insane.
And the whole time, Emily and Olivia were like, "It's loud," but they were having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
At the end, the overtime winner, it was just me, Emily, and Nina at that point because Nina's sister had taken Olivia back to our house
Okay.
because she was just done with the hockey game, and Emily
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to stay and watch. So Auntie Becky took Olivia, and me, Emily, and Eliza and Nina were still at the game. And when the overtime winner happened, everyone was standing up, cheering, screaming. And Emily, at like first, she's like, "It's too loud," and then I saw her do like a scream because she thought she's like, "Oh, everyone else is doing it."
Yep.
So I was like, "That's exciting."
Yeah.
So she had a great time, and I'm looking forward to plenty more Carolina Hurricanes games. It's a really
Mm-hmm.
cool experience. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And especially now that Nina's gonna be coming back down. Like that's gonna be
yes,
so cool.
yeah.
So cool.
Hmm. Well, now that we're like 20 minutes in, do you want to do some? You have a dad joke today?
I
Or
do have a dad joke. I do have a dad
okay,
joke. So I told Lainey that I could make a make a car out of spaghetti, and she didn't believe me. But you should have seen her face when I drove pasta.
That's funny.
Uh,
I laughed.
what about you? Do you have one?
I do have one. Um, a slice of apple pie is $2.50 in Jamaica, and it's $3 in the Bahama. But those are just some pie rates of the Caribbean. Get it? The pie rates of the
The
Caribbean.
pirates.
I thought it was great.
Oh goodness, dad jokes are solid. They always are solid.
Definitely funny. Um,
Excuse me.
oh, God bless you.
Come on.
I still have this cough. It's not really bad anymore, but still there once in a while.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So how has so we didn't really we didn't have a big topic that we wanted to talk about this
Mhm.
week. Just kind of catching up, talking, and kind of seeing where we go.
Yeah.
But I had this thought, like how has things changed, like parenting wise, other than like the normal like stresses of being the only parent for Emily and Olivia.
Mhm.
Like how has things changed, I guess. And then like I know you're through the roof excited, and like with Nina coming down in a couple days, and like how, I guess, just kind of talk about that dynamic, and
Yeah.
like what.
So I will. When we first decided to move down here and have me and Emily and Olivia move down here early, it was mainly so the girls could get to school and so they could have
Mhm.
more of a routine instead of having to go to
Just
school
getting
there and then moving down
thrown in,
here and
yeah.
switching schools
Yeah.
um and of course if we all stayed there we'd have to find a place to live,
Right.
all five of us and a dog, because the house is sold. So we me, Emily, and Olivia moved down here, and Nina came down for a week at that point too. And it was basically the beginning. Once Nina had left, I was trying to keep up the routine that we had established as a
Mhm.
family back in Wisconsin, and I really quickly realized that it was different. First of all, North Carolina, it was the summer. It stayed late till like 9:30, and they have a lot of windows in the room. It's very bright. I was like, you got
Mhm.
to go to bed at 7 o'clock like we usually do, and it was bright till like 9 p.m. And they're like, nope, we're not going to do that. But I quickly learned that they will sleep better, honestly, if I gave them a little more time at night.
Hmm.
So I kind of like loosened up on some of those rules with sleeping and stuff. Because if they felt like they were in control, which they were not, I'm still the parent. But if they felt like they had the choice here, they would follow directions more and listen better. So I kind of went lenient with bedtime. We started off with the school bus in the morning, which was cool. So
Mhm.
they would take the school bus to school and take the school bus home. And then quickly realized that the school bus is the first stop in the morning at their stop. So
Mm.
the bus would take forever to get them to school.
Mhm.
And
And
they
then
had
the
assigned
last stop.
seats. Nope, then the first stop home too.
Oh, that's good. That's good at
Yes.
least.
So we're close enough to the school. So
Okay.
they are the first to be dropped off in the afternoon, but they're also the first to be picked up in the morning. So um, they had assigned seats and they kind of assigned us next to each other, which makes sense. But one morning they're like, "Hey, we don't want to go to school in the school bus since we were just next to each other anyway. Can you drive us to school so we can at least listen to music or something?" I was like, "Yeah, okay, I'll do that." We figured out that we don't have to leave for another 45 minutes. Like literally, the school bus gets here at 7:50 in the morning, and
Mhm.
we can leave our house at 8:30
Oh
at
my
like
goodness.
and easily make it there on time. So we've been doing that, and that means they can wake up at 7:30 or even later if they want to, and just get ready, eat breakfast, get dressed and stuff. So that's been going pretty good.
Wait, so then when do they start school? What time in the morning?
8:45 is their bell for their first
Wow.
class. Yep, and they
Wow.
get out, and I pick them up at the school bus stop at 4 o'clock. So
Oh, so they go a little bit longer.
They go like 8:45
Okay.
to 3:45.
Okay.
Sure. Which is different from what
Mhm.
it was in Wisconsin, but it's not bad. Of course, right now I hate it because it's dark out by the
Right.
time I pick him up at the school bus. Not really, but you know what I
Pretty
mean.
close. Yeah.
Um, so there was that. Another big thing is they have dance Mondays and Tuesdays, and hockey Saturdays and Sundays. So getting them to those things, I mean, it's not hard. Ultimately, the real issue that we've had here is when they get upset with me, they really want Nina, and it's
Mm.
like, well, too bad. You're stuck with me here. Olivia has come up with a brilliant idea to keep me out of her bedroom. She has like 1,000 notes, sticky notes that she stuck up all over her room that says "No boys allowed." I was like, you know what, this is fine. I get it, but I'm still
Uh,
coming in here to do bedtime with you. You
right.
still have to go to bed.
The
So
classic no boys allowed.
no boys allowed.
I love it.
Yeah. So she's excited to have Nina home,
Mhm.
which is good.
Mhm.
And it's 2 days away from now.
There you go.
So by the time you watch this, viewers,
Nina'll
uh,
be back
yeah,
for good this time.
forever, or at least with us forever. With not necessarily living in North Carolina or being in North Carolina forever.
Yeah, because you gotta come back to Wisconsin, right?
To visit, we'll be there. You believe it? You got to come down. You got to come down to North Carolina. We'll take you to a Hurricanes game. Maybe when they play the Red
That'd be
Wings.
fun. That'd be fun. I've only
Red
been to
Wings are good
one.
this year.
They're doing fairly well, despite the one trade that we made. I mean, DeBrincat did get a goal, but
We're talking about our
that's
fantasy
about it.
hockey league we're in
Yeah.
together. Have we mentioned that?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we have.
Big into hockey. That's me. I kind of roped Andrew into this to do some fantasy hockey league.
Yeah, and I
So
like it. It's fun.
yeah,
I
it's
like
fun.
how there's more to it than like football, and it's
Yeah.
not as intense as like basketball because basketball can get crazy.
Ah, I've heard
But
baseball, fantasy baseball is intense.
yeah, it's similar. Basketball and baseball are similar.
Okay.
Basketball's probably not as intense as baseball,
Hmm.
because basketball you can almost guarantee that they have a game almost every other or every day, and it's same with baseball.
Yeah, baseball.
But
Yeah.
baseball is but but yeah, no, yeah, I'm sure it's been like there's always that give and take,
Hmm.
especially like when when you remove one of the parental figures, um, and whether it's a good reason or not so good reason. I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, it wouldn't really call not like a good. Anyways, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I can see how that would be like I would probably be do the same thing. Like, well, I just this is our routine. Like, this is what we need to do. This is when we do
Mhm.
it. But then, yeah, if you're like, well, like I can't imagine, like, especially like just kids in general, like in the transition in their minds of like, okay, like during the summer, yeah, you might get to stay up a little bit later.
Mhm.
Um, but like I remember my sister telling my parents, my youngest sister that's adopted, telling my parents, "Well, the sun's still out, so that means I don't have to go to bed yet." And like
It's a good reason. Yeah.
just the normal child brain and how they think and process things, and then you mix in the change of state, change of um, time zone, and all that, and yeah, I could see how that would be fairly tough.
Yeah.
But you did it,
For the most part, it's basically surviving. It's been a
right?
huge help to have Nina's sister Becky here.
Yeah,
Uh, and she, I mean, we went to the zoo. That was a lot of fun. We've done other activities, and she's been helping out a lot. Wherein I would just have stayed home and survived. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's kind of like a bunker down. Everyone's alive. They're
yeah.
fed.
Right.
Clothed. They're going to school. They're going to hockey. That's all we're doing.
That's
Yep.
that's it.
Yeah. But no, we've been doing other stuff too, and we're having a good time.
Mhm.
So
Which is
it's
cool.
funny. Olivia's like, when can we have a sleepover with our cousins? I was like, Olivia, I am not very good at planning things. Mom is home soon, and she's very good at planning things.
Just wait a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I think I think Nina posted it on Facebook, the little paper ribbons on
Oh, the
counting
paper
how many
chains they
days.
made,
Yeah, the
yeah.
paper
They
chains.
wrote each
Yeah,
of the names of the dates and stuff, and
yeah.
every day they would tear one down, and then they would forget one day and then tear 2 down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a
which is
long
so.
chain. This was
Yeah,
this was the longest one, this past one. But
but now it's almost done.
yeah,
Almost done.
it means no more super late nights playing video games. I'll get busted.
Same.
Right. So,
Oh man. Well, anything else new or that you want to talk about?
no, I can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
Talked
it's
about your
been
bug. That was
yeah,
exciting.
my buck. That was a very
I had a question. When you
sure.
clean it, is it as gross as you think it might be cleaning out a buck? Cleaning out
It
a deer?
depends. Um, so uh, it depends on how you shoot the buck. Like in my case,
If
I was worried because
Mhm.
usually, oops, I just kicked my camera. So usually, like I'll try not to go into super graphic detail, but
Sure.
there's the chest cavity, and then there's actually this like diaphragm that
Mhm.
uh, keeps the heart and the lungs away from the guts, basically.
Ew, yeah.
Um, and so usually if you hit them in the guts, it's not the best because obviously if you get stomach bile or urine on some of the meat, it's you can imagine not good.
Probably not good for the meat.
Yeah, and so I was pretty worried about when I saw how far back I had hit.
Mhm.
Um, that we had maybe nicked that I nicked the stomach or something like that.
Sure.
I think I nicked part of one of the intestines because there's like corn and other chewed up things, but not fully turds yet. um, and yeah,
Turds.
it just depends. Like it's messy. It's pretty bloody. I mean, you can imagine. Um, but yeah, it you just kind of clean everything out, get everything out that
Mhm.
you don't need, and then there's two inner tenderloins that are very
Ooh.
tasty.
Yeah, I
Actually,
can
on
imagine.
the inside part of it's one of the softest. Um, besides the back straps, those two people kind of go back and forth between which one they like more.
Mhm.
I'm like they're both really tender and really good.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, and then there's those that are inside actually the chest cavity, and then the rest of the meat is actually external, like it's back hams, the back straps, the shoulders, a little bit on the neck.
Hold on real quick. You just said back ham. Is that where you got so confused with where ham came from?
No, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know why I didn't think like yeah, I don't know where that. No, I knew that venison ham is different than pork ham. I just couldn't remember. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything such. There's no such thing as venison ham. I think it's is it hamstring?
Technically, yeah, that's what it's short for. It's the back hind quarter. A lot of people actually turn that into a roast,
Oh,
um,
okay.
which is quite good. I'd love to try that.
Ooh, that's a good season. Now's a
If
good
my
season to roast.
if my friend that had a roaster lived closer,
I don't have a roaster. I have a smoker.
or smoker, I mean, yeah, that
Ooh.
I feel like that would be really good. But
Mm.
I wonder if you could fly with. There's got to be a way to fly
With
with some
venison?
venison. Yeah,
I thought you had to drive. I thought you weren't a big flyer.
I'd have to figure it out.
It's not a bad drive, by the way. It's like 17 hours. We did it in 2 days. Yeah.
Maybe, maybe.
Kids are good at driving too. I feel like they're better at driving than they are at flying in
Really?
general. I don't know about RJ, but
Well,
it might just be my kids because they've been like conditioned to long car rides.
yeah.
But
Well,
they
Rylan,
sleep
yeah.
or they just do their own thing.
hmm Yeah, it's hard to compare for Rylan because the one time that he was on a plane, it
Mhm.
was an hour flight and he was still young enough to where he just slept. Like it matched up fairly okay around his nap time. So he just slept. Like it was crazy. I was
Yeah.
not expecting it, but I
Were
was the
you
one
on
that
that plane
was
too? Is that when you got
yeah.
sick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, he flew 3 times because we flew here and back, and I got sick in between um, the flying to Wisconsin and flying back to Michigan because I OD'd
Yeah.
on the patch. That was not
There you
fun.
go.
Ugh.
Wow.
And then Rylan also flew back here with Laney before I drove with the moving truck and everything, and he every time was just with
Yep.
his headphones and just passed out.
There you go.
So yeah. But so yeah, it can be messy. They make gloves that you can like goes up your arm.
Did
I
you put
use them
the gloves on? Yeah.
not this time. So sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Just depends on how I'm feeling.
Mhm.
So yeah,
All right.
clean and dear.
Clean and dear. Excuse
Okay,
me.
well, bless you.
Thanks.
Gazoon tight.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else for today?
I don't think so. No,
I
that was my one question. Was just I wanted to see like kind of what you
Yeah.
thought about
Yeah. It's like being a single
things.
dad, and I know I'm not a
Yeah.
single dad. I
Right.
understand the
Right.
situation,
Right.
but um, it's just a little bit of a change.
Mm-hmm.
And once you set up a routine, it went smooth. Kids
Mm-hmm.
are creatures of habit,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. And I'm sure that you and Nina had some kind of routine of like, okay, no, we'll try to talk at this time or at this
oh yeah,
day.
every night we
And
tried.
mm-hmm.
If not, she has a special bedtime song that she always sings to the kids. I recorded
Oh,
it so that if she couldn't
the,
FaceTime or video
then
call,
you could.
then to show the video. And toward the end, it was like, no, we don't want the video. We want
We
we
want
want mom.
the.
And then yeah, just this week, Olivia has been requesting her to sing it like 3 or 4 times when she's on the phone.
Mm,
It's like you need to yeah. So
yeah.
they know it's almost done.
Mm-hmm. Which is good. Which is
Yeah.
good for everybody. Because I'm
Yep.
sure Nina misses you guys a ton.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe the girls.
Yeah. So
And Martell.
she definitely misses Martell. I wish I could turn the camera and show you. Martell has, for you listening and watching, Martell is my dog. And she has a built-in, there's a staircase like right to the left of my office on
Mm-hmm.
the outside of the office. So they built underneath the staircase like a little dog house. It's really
Yep.
cute. And Martell is half out of a bed, just laying in there right now
Just,
sleeping.
just
So,
conked.
yeah. But she had a day and a half. So, all right. If you don't have anything else, I will leave us with this one thing: is guys, if you haven't eaten Nerds
Oh my
gummy
goodness.
clusters, don't start eating them.
Do not. You
They're
will
the best
be.
candy.
Oh,
Yeah, they're delicious. It's like a nerd rope, but little tiny clusters.
and
So,
somehow better. Like
oh
nerd
yeah,
ropes
well,
were
they're
okay,
fantastic.
but
I always felt like sticky with the nerd ropes.
yes,
These don't feel sticky at all.
yeah.
So yeah, not sponsored by nerds.
Not.
Not sponsored by coffee either, though. So, well, it's been fantastic. Thank you guys so much for watching or listening, whichever you're doing today here. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments down below, or you can
Drop
hit us
them
up at
below.
our email, thehebrewspodcast@gmail.com. I think I still have access to that. I haven't checked in like a week or more. It's been more than a week. I didn't want to say how long it actually had been because then I would have felt bad. So yeah, it's been a while. Or hit us up on the Instagram account or Facebook.com. All the social media things. So
Absolutely.
that's it in a nutshell. Hope you have a great rest of your week and a great rest of your day. And drink some coffee for us.
Drink it. Drink
Yeah.
the coffee. It's delicious. Peace.
Oh.
What in the world?